we'll get started. Okay, well, I'm going to start, we're going to do some introductions just to say, hey, since we're going to be in this group together for the next 12 weeks, I just want to start off with your why, like, why are you here? Obviously your name, anything about you that we need to know, maybe where you live, where you're coming from. And I will start, I'll just go for who I see. So I'll start with Katie.
All right, so my name is Katie. I actually live in Michigan, so it's technically 8 o'clock here, so I had to make sure that I was getting the right time. My why is basically I haven't put myself first in a very long time. I had a rough 2-3 years, divorce, COVID. I'm a teacher, so then you're stuck at home. So it was just like a lot of junk all at once, and I kind of let myself go, and I wasn't putting myself first. So that's my why, is it's my turn,
For sure. Well, we're happy you're here, and we're going to get you there. So, Michelle.
I feel like I have not been on Zoom in so long. I forgot how it all works.
Oh, I'm super technologically advanced. So when I start screen sharing and popping around, I'm going to be like, so bear with me. So I feel you.
Okay, thank you. I'm Michelle. I live in Naperville. Ditto to everything Katie said. I'm in the same spot, just got divorced. I have 2 boys on my own. It's been a rough couple years. So, again, COVID, teaching from home. I jumped around 3 different jobs in the last few years. So just finally being in a place where I can focus some time on myself.
Yeah, very good. And I think it's super important. Of course, my dog's gonna bark too. I think it's super important to hone out some of that time for yourself, because as individuals, we give so much to everybody else, whether it's kids, friends, coworkers, and why not fill your cup first so you can pour out where everywhere else you go. So, Elisa, if you can talk, you can go next.
Hey. Sorry, I'm you don't want to see this face right now. It's crazy town. I live in Texas, and I just Emily, I saw her videos, and her and I went to high school together, and I was like, holy shit, she looks amazing. What's she doing? So I just I've never not worked out, but I just need some help reaching my goals. I've just not had the gumption to do it on my own, and I'm sick and tired of complaining about it. So
very good. Well, we're happy you're here. And so Katie and Michelle are actually my high school friends.
Cool.
So it's just fun to see how things come full circle and to watch somebody else's journey, and really connect with what they say and where they're at, so we're super happy to have you here. Karen, welcome. We're just kind of going through introductions, but we're happy to have you here. So Hillary, I'll have you go next.
Okay. You said me, right?
Yes.
Yes, perfect. Yes, I'm Hillary. I live in Illinois. I'm in Willowbrook. I went to high school with Paul Lingzo, so that's how I heard about the program, was seeing him and Angie on Facebook, and just super cool. Am I not showing my camera?
No, you just have to turn on your video if you want to.
Start video. Okay, so this is honestly my very first Zoom call before or ever, so bear with me. I am not good at this stuff. Now am I here?
You're a black screen now, so I wonder if your camera is there something on the top that you can slide up here? That sometimes it's off.
Got it.
If not, it's not that big of a deal.
Okay, if it's on, okay, perfect. Then I guess I'm not gonna do a video. So anyway, Hillary from Willowbrook. I'm doing this for a whole lot of reasons. It's I have very long stories, and I won't bore you all with the details, but the basic gist of it is that I feel like I've done everything and tried everything. I've always been very fitness minded. I've done triathlons. I've bike races. I enjoy fitness, but I struggle with food. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of negative history and negative feelings about myself and about food. And I want something that is going to, I need something that I can sustain something where I see progress that I can keep and not be so negative towards myself. And I want to stop yo-yo dieting too. I want to stop trying plants. I just want something that's going to work with my life and be sustainable.
Amen to that. Yeah. And I think for me personally, I think the biggest freedom found here with the Angie method is the freedom from any negative feeling, guilt, shame, whatever that looks like. I mean, I think we're all a work in progress, and obviously we all have some kind of, I feel like some issue maybe with food or how we look at it. So I'm happy you're here, and I think we can help you there because I think this is where the changes really start to happen. You know, we can do all the workouts we want and really be a powerhouse there, but if we can't reframe how we think about food, it can really hinder us. So I thank you for sharing, and we're just super happy to have you.
Thank
Karen,
you.
you are up.
Wonderful. What do I since I
We're
joined
just
late, what should
sharing,
I
like, where are you from, your background, like, and your why for being here.
Okay, so I'm in my car. I have 4 kids like you, so I'm never home. I'm always somewhere. I'm from Northern Virginia outside of DC.
Okay.
Why I'm here. I mean, similar, I think, to what Hillary just shared. Probably all of us have that, a bit of a touch of that. But really just trying to get down. I've done macros and I've done counting before. So I don't think this will be too much of a struggle for me.
Right. Which I think is good because, you know, some of the challenges do come with somebody who's never weighed food or macro track. Like, that's a learning curve for sure. There you are, Hillary. Hello.
I figured it out.
So having that, you know, macro track before will be a little helpful. But like I said, their content when it comes to like mindset and just like really getting mentally fit, was a game changer and life changing for me. So I think that'll be super helpful. Obviously, I think we all probably have a similar journey, and I think, you know, the first step of being here is amazing. I love what Paul and Angie are doing. And I think moving forward here in the next 12 weeks, you guys will learn a lot. And what's great about doing this in a group setting is obviously you get the support of all the ladies around you. So we are missing 2 Sarahs and a Kathleen. So they'll be on our thread as well. And I'm recording this, so they can watch this later. But we're going to mostly communicate through Instagram Messenger. That's where you can ask me questions. That's where when we get to numbers, I'll let everybody know numbers are updated. And this is where everybody can kind of support and chat back and forth with their progress or whatever that looks like. So I'm going to share my screen. I will walk you through the curriculum. And I'm sorry, I sent the email when we did this. They're like, oh, onboarding call, kickoff call. So I wrote kickoff is the 18th, which might have been confusing because this is really our kickoff call, but we'll start tracking on Monday. I just want to make sure you guys have a couple days of having all the information, a look at your sheet, and being able to know what you have to track and how you have to do it. And if there are any questions from here to Monday, yeah. Hillary, do you have a question? Unmute.
So speaking of unmute, Michelle, I know you're cooking. When you're not talking, can you mute? Because I can't hear Elena.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I thought I was muted.
Thank you. Cool.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen and we will get through and I'll walk you through the curriculum. Karen, did you get my email and were you able to get you saw the link for the curriculum, correct?
I did. I haven't gone through anything, but I did get it.
I figured, I know you were just added today, so not a problem. And like I said, if you have any questions, after this call, when you do look at everything, just reach out for sure.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen and we will go into, so everybody was able to download Kajabi. We're good. This is where your curriculum is going to be. And let me go back so I can kind of walk you through. So you're going to go obviously in the Leans of Fitness and the Bronze group, and this is the Getting Started. So these are all, these first videos in the Getting Started here will be your onboarding, joining the face group, all the things that you've done, downloading your sheet, measurements and progress photos, which is always fun. I can't tell you one client I've had that is like, I am so stoked to take my measurements and take my first progress photos. So I understand. It took me like, when I first started the program, it literally took me a week and a half to do it because I was like, I am not ready. And they were not pretty, but it gets better. Trust me. And then just what is a macronutrient? So it'll go through that. But let's go into downloading your tracking sheet just so I can walk you through your sheet, because this is going to be your best friend. This is where we collect all of our data, which is super cool because I feel like some people come into the program with this mind frame of, oh my gosh, I have to weigh my food, or I have to track everything and I have to weigh myself every day. But for us, there is like zero failure. This is just data. And I feel like we've all had this, or maybe not all of us, but this attachment to a number on a scale, or the scale affecting our mood, or whatever that looks like. But this truly is to be able to give us data. It's like kind of like if you look at it like having a budget, a financial budget, like you want to see day to day what's happening so you can know what your goals are, know where you're going from there. So I don't want you to be anxious or anything about having to like weigh yourself every day. It's actually really cool to see what your body does with your cycle and like water weight and all that stuff. So this is the first part of your sheet. You can put your date and your weekly average weight, which I'll show you where you can grab that on your sheets. But we'll get your starting weight, which your height for here, and these will be your measurements. And there is a video on how to measure certain areas, like arm is like a certain inch down, thigh is a certain inch down from your hip, or up from your knee, I'm sorry. So, and you know what, these are super important because while you might not see, you know, some people plateau on the scale, but then they take their measurements and realize that overall they've lost like 12 to 20, you know, something crazy in inches. And then also with like progress photos, while they're not fun, and you know, honestly, you guys, I'm not gonna like be like going into your sheets and peeking at them. This is solely for your, solely for you, because you can again feel a certain way one day and then like take your progress pictures and look back and be like, well, dang, like things are happening. You know, we look at ourselves every day, so it's like kind of like sometimes you don't catch it. So, this is your weekly reflection. So every week, I am going to have you send me your sheets by Sunday night, Monday morning at the latest, because I will redo everybody's numbers on Monday and get you your sheets back and just shoot you a message and be like, hey, sheets are ready. So let me click on this. This will take you to your reflection form. And please stop me if you have questions or if I'm going too fast, because I can get chatty. So you'll fill this out, your name, what were your wins, what can I help you with? And for me, the more information you can give me, the better. And obviously you can reach out in the thread too, if you do have any questions, because if you trust me, if you have the question, I don't care. Like, if you're like, wow, I think this is a really dumb question. I do it all the time and I just say it because somebody else probably has that question too. So, did you adhere to your macros? Meaning, did you hit your macros? We like to see, and I know for those who have never tracked the first week or two, it might be really tricky because it is kind of like a puzzle piece on how to like hit them pretty closely. So a lot of the times I will say it is easy. Like if you know you eat 3 large meals during the day, to kind of divide your macros in 3 and be like, these are benchmarks that I need to hit with my carbs, my fats, and my proteins each meal. I like to add in 2 snacks here and there. I love me a snack. And so I will work in most of my macros and leave, you know, 100 to 150 calories for each of my snack or whatever that looks like. And also if you know that there's something that is like non-negotiable that you want to work in for your day, like I just had my ice cream bar. Like I look forward to something sweet at the end of the night, and I always make sure to work it in first. That way I have something to look forward to. There is no good, there is no bad food. I will never be like, oh, like, please don't come to me and be like, I failed this week, because truly, if you are not winning, you are learning, and there is no failure here. It is just data. And it's just, like I said, reworking your mind around the fact, well, I went over my macros, or I ate this. Well, let's think about how you felt while you were doing it, how you felt after. Were you, like, physically, were you bloated? Were you this, were you that? Or did you, like, truly enjoy it? And, like, you're sitting down with your significant other or your kids or whatever, and you're like, wow, we're having a great time. I'm gonna, like, choose to eat or drink this and enjoy it. And if that's the case, you move on. You go to the next day, you hit your macros, and you go from there. But I will never tell you something is good or bad, because that is not the goal here, So did you adhere to your macros and meaning? Oh, so that's where I was going with that. Sorry, I can get long-winded. We like to see protein. Obviously, we'd like to see you hit it or go over. Like, that's never a bad thing. Carbs, usually within 10, carbs and proteins can be interchangeable. They're the same caloric. There's, 4 calories per gram for each. So they're kind of interchangeable. There are 9 calories per gram of fat. So we'd like you, at or under in your fat. Usually they say, like, for success, at and around under like 5 grams of your fat, 10 grams from your protein and carbs. Like, that's like a good benchmark when you're like trying to figure that puzzle. And I can help you again if you have questions. You're like, I have no problem hitting my protein, but I'm having major problems hitting my carbs or fats. It's always a good question, and we'll get to like food after I run through some of this stuff. So what actions are you taking today to move forward to tomorrow? Like, what action plan can you make to reach your goals? So once you fill this all out, you will hit submit. It will come to me. I will look through everything and answer your questions for you. And I should say the questions you have, they'll be answered in the Facebook page or in the Facebook group, our chat. So, but that just gives me a good idea of where you're at and how you're doing. So I'll close that out. We'll go to your macro sheet. So here's where you're going to put your starting weight. And then here is your goal weight. This first week is literally just eating how you normally eat. We want to get a good basis of where you're at for your calories, so I can set your macros accordingly. So does everybody have a food scale?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And like I said, if you have any questions about measuring or entering anything in MyFitnessPal or whatever tracking you use, most people generally use MyFitnessPal. Those are great questions to have too, because sometimes in MyFitnessPal, like, it might transfer a little differently to your sheet, just because there is a margin of error with things that are added in MyFitnessPal that are incorrect or off a little bit or whatever that looks like. I always try to look for like the USDA approved things in MyFitnessPal, which has a green check mark, which that the ingredient list that they put in there is pretty accurate. So I always weigh my meat cooked. So if you're going to do it a certain way, pick that way and stay with it. If you're going to do it frozen, but I usually weigh my meat cooked. So that's the first week. Second week, I will set your macros here, and it'll auto-populate your calories. You will weigh yourself daily, and then here's your non-food body basics. So you will track your steps if you can. All Apple Watches track steps. Your phone will track it. So we like to get a good idea of how much movement you have, because the more you move, it's great for your body, great for mental boost. Your metabolism keeps it up. So your sleep goal up here, this is where I'm getting from, is 7 to 8 hours plus. Water goal, we like to see about half your body weight in ounces. Ultimate goal is a gallon. If you're not used to drinking that much water, it does seem like a lot. Do your best there. And it's helpful for me on some days, and I like to drink a lot of water. I have water drops, and sometimes I'll throw a Crystal Light packet in there just when I need something otherwise I'm like a big LaCroix fan. So are there any questions so far? Yes, Michelle. You have to unmute though.
Oh my gosh. So you said, do you use MyFitnessPal? Because I've been on there this week, and I was debating on whether I should upgrade to track the macros. Should I do that?
I prefer that. It's like $70 some for the year. And I prefer it because I can see, like, I would show you on here, but the desk.
Anything to make my life easier if I need.
It will. It'll give you your macronutrient view, and it'll allow you to put those exact macronutrients I give you in your goals. And it allows you to tweak the grams, like how you weigh it. I think I was looking through my mom's because she does not have the upgraded version because I couldn't remember what the difference was. It's just a little bit more. It's more user friendly for macro tracking.
Okay. And then next week,
I think it's 100% worth it.
Okay.
You know, the regular MyFitnessPal will work too.
Okay. And you said, so next week we just track everything that we do.
Starting Monday,
Then,
track and eat as you normally would. Don't undereat, don't overstuff. Eat and drink and be merry.
Okay.
And then any other questions?
Oh, I do have one real quick, and you might get to this, but once we download this, how or what email or whatever name how do we share it with you?
Okay.
Maybe you're not there yet. If you're not there yet, don't worry. Sorry.
Move this out of the way. So you should have been able to save this to your computer.
Yes.
And there is a share button up here.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be able to email it to me.
Okay. And which email?
Let me double check with Kelly and see how she shares them, because a lot of the times if I have access to them, as long as you've given me access, I can go in our drive and just see them.
Okay. So do you use a different email for this versus like the one
Yes,
everything is
and
sent
I will put that in the thread. It's just
okay,
that leads to fit.
Okay. Thank you.
And I'll clarify that just because I think if you're able to save them and share it with me, I will be able to just access them, but they just need to be filled out. I'll give you a reminder that they need to be filled out. And then that this sheet, this reflection sheet is what I would need to have by Monday morning, and then your sheet to be filled out. And if it's not filled out, I mean, I'll let you know, but I can't like rebase your macros if it's not filled out. So, and honestly, so when I set you, if you are continuing to trend down, like we like to see half a pound to a pound plus, but half a pound to a pound a week is normal in healthy weight loss. So if you continue to trend down where I've set your macros, I will not move them until we've seen 2 weeks of like no movement and you're hitting your macros. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because we don't want to take you too low to have you like where you're like super hungry and then there's like nowhere to go from there, if that makes sense. Okay. So we're going to track our steps, our hours of sleep, ounces of water, and training. And this is just like, I did my workout today, I walked today, I took a rest day, whatever that looks like. It doesn't need to be like super in depth because we will walk through the workouts. But I'm gonna just pause 1 second, and I just want to make sure. I think you guys have to share them with me. I'll do that later. You have to share your sheets with me, and then I'll have access to them. But I will double check that, and I will put that on the thread because I'm not 100% positive. Because like my other clients, they share them with me, and I just go in and look at them. I always have access to them. So let's go back to the Lean So Fit. Everybody's good on the sheets. Yes.
Do you, what day, I'm sorry, what day do we start tracking? Monday we start tracking,
So
or
Monday you'll start tracking? Yep.
the first day of tracking? So
Yep.
7/18 is first day of tracking. Okay,
Yep.
got it.
And then so, like I said, Sunday night or early Monday morning, get me your reflection forms and make sure your sheets are filled out. because we will redo macros on Monday if need be. And then we will have our weekly call on Tuesdays. And I was gonna kind of get a consensus of like a time frame. If you can't be on the call, it will always be recorded. But like, does daytime work better for everybody? Nighttime? If you can pop in, because we can do like an 11 a.m. call on Tuesday, or do something at night. And this will be going over any questions that you guys have throughout the week, what this week or the next week looks like for marching orders and everything like that. So do you guys have a preference?
I prefer evenings, but I am not opposed to watching it
Okay.
and then just communicating through the messenger. So I'm either way, doesn't matter to me.
I feel the same. Evenings are better, but if it's during the day, I'll just watch it after.
Yeah. And I would say evenings would be okay for me, because during the day I can do it, but there will more than likely be a visitor or two, which is fine too. So we can keep it at like the 7 o'clock. And then I will post that time on our thread. Okay. Oh no, our meeting can't end in 10 minutes. Hold on. I don't know why I keep using the wrong one, because we've had to upgrade it. Anywho, let's continue. So these are in here. These will be your workouts. So you would click on July, because we're going to do the rest of July, and the PDF for your workouts are right here. Nope. Just click it 3 times. And this will be so you'll get a 3-day with a bonus circuit at the bottom, which would be an express workout. So was everybody able to access workouts and take a look at them? Okay. And again, if there's any questions, all you have to do is click on whatever it is you're looking for, and there will be a YouTube video.
Perfect. I was just going to ask
so
that.
Whoops. Did somebody say something?
Oh, no, I was going to say, yeah, I was just going to ask, like,
Yeah.
what if I don't know
So
how to do that?
everything in pink here, like goblet squat, it'll have anything you can click on. It'll take you straight to a video on how to do it and good form. So it makes it really easy. Paul, Tony, who does the workouts, he's amazing. If there are any questions though, feel free to reach out to me and I can ask him, or I can answer it for you, but it's pretty straightforward. And again, it's whatever day, again, 3 days with a bonus day, whatever that looks like for you guys in your schedule. So, okay. I'm not going to get into like week 1 videos, because we will talk about week 1 on Tuesday when we have our call. But this is where you'll have your week 1 content in the Leanzo Fitness. And it looks like a lot for week 1, but they're very short. Most of them are very short videos. And then you will do week 1 in the anti-diet course. So, and these are longer videos, like creating, week 1 is all about creating identity. And some of these, I like to like go for a walk. Although some of these first ones are short. Or actually it might be in one of these other ones in the Leanzo Fitness. There's usually like a 45-ish minute video. And it's great to listen to when you're on a walk. So yeah, like that one's a 23-minute one, then the macro training. But we always have our weekly training calls on the Angie method, and that's the one that Paul and Angie do. It's generally Wednesdays at 11. Sometimes it changes throughout the week. Kelly's really good about putting out reminders about what time that is, and they're always, obviously they're live, but you can always go back and watch those later. Friday will be the Q&A. And I'll try and tag you in both of these during, the first few weeks, so you guys can get used to when they're at. And if you ever have any questions for the Q&A, you can drop them to me, or you can drop them in that link I tag you in, and Paul and Angie will read them and go through them. So the training calls and the Q&A, like that content is something, especially for the mindset piece on nutrition and just like feelings towards foods. Those are always super helpful. I like literally walk my neighborhood and like talk out loud, and I'm like, yes. because like, I feel like they're always speaking to like how I'm feeling, and how I felt like just with my relationship with food. So they're really, really helpful. And again, Wednesdays are the main training calls and Fridays are the Q&A. Let me shoot over, and I hope this doesn't end on us, because if it ends on us, I'm going to pop right back in because I did not go to the right Zoom account. But so in the Angie method, there is so many good things here. So if you are ever looking for the Wednesday calls, they will be in here. Wednesday coaching calls, you can click on here and it will show you all the videos. Friday Q&A, click on here if you're looking for one, or if you're like, hey, Lane, I'm looking for something on a specific thing you're dealing with. There's a ton, and that's actually in Kajabi. If you go back here into ongoing training calls, these will be the latest ones. So April, May, all the way up to July. Those are the most recent ones. And then you have resources by category in here, which you can kind of go like goal setting, hard reset. These will have like specific areas that they speak on. So a lot of really, really good content in your Kajabi too, just from past video calls. Any questions there just on the content in your like weekly, that's, you're going to do stuff weekly in Lean So Fitness Academy and the anti diet nutrition. Make sense? Okay, let's go back to the Facebook page because I want to show you a few different things. And we'll talk next week, we'll talk a little bit more about food and nutrition. This is really just getting you started so we can get you tracking on Monday and just like getting comfortable with Kajabi, your sheets, and just where things are on the Facebook page. So what I also love to do is topics. And again, we'll get into this a little bit next week. Staple foods. This is great if you're needing recipes. Most of the time people will post the macros to go along with it, like right here. Just a lot of really good ideas if you kind of get stuck or if you need some like inspiration. It'll do staple foods, staple food desserts, breakfast, meal prep Monday. This will also take you to some of the training calls, staple food snacks. So this page is great for community, but it's also really great if you have any certain, like I said, recipes or topics you're looking for. Most of the time we try and hashtag them so they're really easy to find, and we're really getting better at it. So, and again, discussions, if you go in there, it'll be a lot of the videos. Sometimes Angie will pop on and do these short little videos that are always fun. She's adorable. They're fun to watch. So, any questions on the Facebook page? No. Okay. And again, in our bronze messenger thread, this is where we'll do all of our communication. So any of the questions you have for me or any questions you have for any of the ladies, we will post them there. And other than that, I feel like that's really all you need to know for the first, to get ready for this first week. Because again, we're just going to really track your normal day to day. You're going to do if you haven't gone through a lot of the first things here, the getting started, you can do that. If you guys do want to go ahead and look at some of week one, you can, but this is really getting your measurement progress photos. This is really what we're looking to do, and just getting used to your sheets and figuring out tracking and your MyFitnessPal. And then I will also, Katie, I will put on the thread about how we share our sheets.
Perfect.
So I'll ask her about that. A cat is trying to get in here now too. So usually it is somebody that wants to say hi. Now it's just on a child. Okay, that is all I have for you today. And again, I'm going to post on the thread the time of our meeting for Tuesdays, but that's going to be, we're going to keep that reoccurring. So every Tuesday we'll meet and have our call for the week. But again, sheets come to me Sunday night or Monday morning at the latest, and I will get your numbers back to you by Monday morning. I'll work on those and we will go from there. I'm super excited. And do you guys have any other questions? No, we're good. You guys excited?
Yes.
I know, like, I feel like in the beginning it's a little overwhelming. But trust me, it really becomes second nature and it gets to be really fun. And again, like I said, the content here, the weekly calls and the weekly videos are just what really moved the needle for me and for most people. So I'm really, really excited that you are all here, and I am just really happy and excited to see where you all will go from here. It's gonna be fun. So I am going to stop sharing my screen, or maybe not. No, you share. See, you guys, I don't know. Pause share. I don't know how to do that either. So, and then if everybody's good, I'm going to let you all go. Thank you for your time. And again, if you do have questions, please message away on the messenger. I love hearing from everybody, and the more I know, the more I can help. So
Facebook mess.
What?
Is Facebook Messenger the best way to message you?
That is the way we will communicate. So
Okay.
Just pop them in there, and I got less than a minute before we shut down, but pop them in there and I will answer accordingly.